So here is my review of the Vlaken G3 Pro, and this review is going to be broken down into a few different areas, including portability, design, overall performance, safety, comfort, value, who is it for, and of course at the end of this video I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I don't like about this electric scooter and a few things that I actually do like about the G3 Pro. Well, to start off with the portability of this is a 39 kilogram electric scooter. It's not the lightest, to be honest, and you're going to struggle to carry this up a few flights of stairs. So for that reason, if you live in an apartment, if you have a lift, you'll be absolutely fine, and up a few steps, maybe 2 or 3 steps, you should be okay. And it is actually quite easy to carry, because at the rear of this electric scooter you have a nice grab handle that makes it actually quite easy compared to some other electric scooters on the market. But one thing to notice is that the handlebars are actually quite wide on the G3 Pro, making it a bit awkward to get into the average size car, and they are not foldable handlebars. So for that reason, you're going to have to consider this if you are going on group rides, and you need to put this into the back of your small car if you have one. Next thing to talk about is the design of the G3 Pro. That yellow colour stands out quite nicely, and the frame is built really well. Not only that, the mud guards are nice and solid, and they don't rattle at all compared to my Varla Eagle 1 that suffered from so much rattling, and when it did rain my back would get completely destroyed. The display is also quite nice, quite modern, very easy to switch between modes. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the video. And of course the deck space on this, nice big huge deck space, a very easy to clean rubber pad also, giving you plenty of grip, particularly if you're going on muddy surfaces or taking this off-road. And of course another good thing about the design of this electric scooter is actually the cable management on it is done extremely neat all across, so they don't protrude too much. And of course, for example, let's say you need to replace that front light, they simply have these quick release connectors here, making it easy to replace, which means you don't have to open up the deck space and play around with cables. Now let's talk about overall performance. If you missed on my first impressions video, it's linked in the description, so you can have a look at that at the end of this video. The top speed I managed to achieve on this was 58 kilometers an hour, which is a bit short of the advertised speed from Vlaken. But of course you do need to bear in mind that of course on that actual day it was cold, there was a lot of wind coming towards me, so I think on a much better condition day I would be able to achieve around 63, 64 kilometers an hour, which is quite respectful. I think anything above that speed, you're asking, well, you're asking for an accident, to be completely honest. And another thing to point out is, of course, even at that speed, there was no wobble at all. I did not need a steering damper from this. And of course, if you know, like the 010Xs, stuff like that, on some of them electric scooters, you actually have to put a steering damper around this area. Even some of the high performance scooters have them, but on this one, because of the design of it at the front, it is very, very stable to the ground. And of course, keep in mind, if you want more harsher acceleration, you can do this very easily through the P settings menu on this electric scooter. For me, I have it at the lowest setting because I think that's more than enough, but you can bump that up right up to level 5, giving you really fast acceleration off the line if you're racing against your friends, doing some stuff like that. But of course, always wear your safety gear. Now the suspension system on this is actually very, very quiet. It is hydraulic suspension compared to my Varla Eagle 1 that is spring suspension, which I didn't find really the best, to be honest, and there was always a bottoming out on this. But on this electric scooter it's really firm, holds very well to the ground, and it looks a lot better too. So quiet, the stem is rock solid, nice wide handlebars, really good braking. Of course I will be doing a off-road test on this, and I may get a few of my friends to join if they are available. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that video. As you can see, that grab handle there is quite handy, but of course keep in mind the suspension on this is non-adjustable, so you'll just have to deal with the stock setup. For me, I weigh around 80 kilograms and it's absolutely perfect. And of course you have my favorite tires of all, the semi off-road tires. They are probably the best that's out there. You have the best of both worlds. Street riding, off-roading, you can't really go wrong with them. And I forgot to mention this as well. This is used, of course, if you want to fold the electric scooter, but it is a nice rubber. So when you're riding, there's no clacking against the handlebar compared to some electric scooters out there where that can be extremely annoying. When it comes to safety, the Vlaken G3 Pro has pretty much everything you need. You have indicators on the left and the right side of the deck with LEDs on the front and on the rear that are extremely bright and very easy to control. It also has its own LED on the stem, which is nice and bright at night time, and it does have LED lights and LED rear lights actually on the lower deck space, which is great. And of course it does have those hydraulic brakes. Now when it comes to the hydraulic brakes, the best ones I've ever tried personally were the Zoom hydraulic brakes, but on this one you have a brand, this brand here called XOD. I'm not familiar with that brand at all, to be honest, but they actually do the job, so I can't complain at all. From a safety aspect, it has everything you need. Okay, the value, well, to be completely honest, it's quite a good price if you get it direct from the Titan group that is linked below. I do also have another alternative link to get the branded version of this, which is also linked below as well, so you can compare both prices. And of course, well, who is it for? It's definitely not for beginners due to the sheer weight of the scooter, the speed of the electric scooter. I think it's more for somebody who was looking to upgrade from like a Xiaomi M365, take things a bit up to the next level. And this brings me up to 5 things that I don't like about the G3 Pro. The reflectors are actually quite cheap on this. As you can see, they are cracked already and it's only a brand new model. But to be honest, it's not really that big of a deal. Another thing is that the thumb throttle on this electric scooter, it does actually feel a little bit cheap. So I wish it had a bit more of a premium feel. And of course, the actual key position of this is actually here. And it's a little bit awkward because if it rains, you will actually get water in there quite easily, which could potentially damage the electric scooter. So I wish on like other models, it would actually be in the handlebar position. Another small thing to point out is that the stem on this scooter is actually not adjustable. So if you're a little bit on the taller side or on the shorter side, you're gonna struggle a little bit. So I wish it would have a bit more of an adjustable stem. Even though the display is actually quite nice on this scooter, indirect sunlight is actually a little bit difficult to see. But don't worry, there are things that I do like about this G3 Pro. The deck space is absolutely gigantic. No matter what size feet you are, you're gonna have no problem at all staying comfortable on the G3 Pro. The grips on the electric scooter are actually very good quality. I mean, take a look at these mud guards, kind of Terminator looking. Even though the stem is non-adjustable, this is probably one of the sturdiest designs I've ever seen. And of course, you cannot forget about that easily removable battery. And well, this brings me on to, should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go ahead and buy it? Well, I would say definitely go ahead and buy this electric scooter because you cannot beat it. The quality, all the specs for the price that it's at. If you do, get it from the Titan group at that fantastic price. If you want to see my first impressions of this electric scooter, click on that video right now and keep an eye out for my off-road video of this. In the meantime, stay safe and I'll talk to you in the next video.